Discussion on the characters, themes and full summary of Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett with original textual quotations. Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett is a seminal work of absurdist theater. Characters. Vladimir Didi represents the intellectual and rational aspect of humanity, concerned with moral and existential questions. Quote, "What do we do now that we are happy?" reflects his ironic awareness of the futility of their situation. Estragon Gogo represents the physical and emotional aspect of humanity, focused on immediate needs, such as food and comfort. Quote, "Nothing happens, nobody comes, nobody goes, it's awful," highlights the central stagnation of the play. Pozo, a domineering and materialistic character who embodies power and tyranny. In Act 1, he is proud and controlling. In Act 2, he is blind and dependent. Quote, "I am Pozo. Pozo. Does that name mean nothing to you?" demonstrates his egotism and need for recognition. Lucky, Pozo's submissive servant, who represents the suffering and oppression of humanity. His nonsensical monologue in Act 1 symbolizes the breakdown of language and meaning. Quote, "Given the existence as uttered forth in the public works of Puncher and Watman, a stream of fragmented thought highlighting existential absurdity." Themes. Absurdity and meaninglessness of life. The play reflects existentialist themes, showing life as repetitive and devoid of inherent meaning. Quote, "They give birth astride of a grave, the light gleams an instant, then it's night once more," highlights the fleeting nature of existence. Human dependency in relationships. The codependent relationship between Vladimir and Estragon reveals the necessity of companionship, even in despair. Quote, "We always find something, ehdd, to give us the impression we exist," suggests their mutual need to affirm existence. Religious symbolism. Godot can be interpreted as a symbol of God, salvation, or hope that never arrives. Quote, "Let's wait and see what he says," represents blind faith. The failure of communication. Language is depicted as unreliable, breaking down under the weight of existential questioning. Lucky's monologue exemplifies the chaos of language. Summary of Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. Act 1. The play begins on a desolate country road with a single tree, where two tramps, Vladimir and Estragon, are waiting for someone named Godot. They engage in fragmented conversations to pass the time, which range from mundane topics to existential questions. Estragon struggles with removing his boots, while Vladimir muses about philosophical ideas and religion. They repeatedly contemplate leaving but never do, as they are bound by their expectation of Godot, who they believe will give them direction or salvation. During their wait, two other characters, Pozo and Lucky, arrive. Pozo is a domineering landowner, and Lucky is his burdened servant, tethered by a rope. Pozo treats Lucky cruelly, and their interaction reveals themes of power, dependency, and human suffering. Lucky performs a bizarre, disjointed, thinking monologue when ordered to entertain them. Pozo and Lucky eventually leave, and a young boy appears with a message. Godot will not come today, but he will surely come tomorrow. The act ends with the pair deciding to leave but remaining stationary. Act 2. The second act takes place the following day at the same location. The tree now has a few leaves, symbolizing a slight passage of time. Vladimir and Estragon continue their cyclical conversations, echoing their earlier interactions, but their despair deepens. They discuss dreams, mortality, and their longing for Godot. Pozo and Lucky return, but Pozo is now blind, and Lucky is mute. Pozo no longer remembers meeting Vladimir and Estragon the previous day, underscoring the theme of the passage of time and human forgetfulness. Their suffering seems to have increased, yet they continue to depend on each other. The boy reappears with the same message. Godot will not come today but will surely come tomorrow. Vladimir questions him about the previous day, but the boy denies having met them before, adding to the play's sense of ambiguity and circularity. Estragon proposes they hang themselves from the tree but dismisses the idea after realizing they lack the proper rope. As night falls, they resolve to leave, but, once again, they remain motionless. Themes and significance. Waiting for Godot is a quintessential example of theater of the absurd. It explores themes of existentialism, the passage of time, and the human condition. The characters' repetitive actions and meaningless conversations highlight the absurdity of life and the search for purpose. Godot, who never appears, serves as a metaphor for unfulfilled promises, religious faith, or the unattainable meaning of life. Through its minimalist setting and cyclical structure, the play critiques human dependency, uncertainty, and the futility of waiting for external salvation.